the one, the only Benzion. Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun with Benzion. Today we're doing Benzion Sotah daf Mem Daled number 44. The Gemara is something, the Gemara I like a lot because there's a lot of Gemaras that people like to ignore. We're in the middle of talking about exemptions from fighting in a war. Some of the exemptions, if you got married or engaged or partially exempt, or you built a house or you planted a vineyard. So when the Torah is talking about it, it says it in a specific order. The Gemara notes Mem Dalet and Aleph. Tan Rabbanan, basically in the middle of Mem Dalet and Aleph. Asher Bana, Asher Nata, Asher Eras. It says it in that order. Lim the Torah Derech Eretz. Why does it teach it in that order? Shiv ne Adam Bayis. First you build a house. You buy a house. You build a house. You take care of it. And then you plant a vineyard for your business. You build up your business. Only after then you get married. You don't get married at 21 years old because they tell you in Mishpacha magazine that you want to save the shidduch crisis. So marry your kids at 21 years old when they're getting supported by their parents and in-laws for the next 10 years and they have no way of getting a house and no plans on even making a parnasa. No, you have to own a house as a man. Build up your business so you can support your wife and kids. This makes a lot of sense. Don't get married at 21, minimum 28. I recommend 35 years old. First of all, it's also because of maturity. You're not mature enough to be a good husband and a good father until you're 35 years old. That's the truth. I got married at 35 and I need it every year. So that's what the Torah says. The Torah tells that's the order. First you build a house. Shlomo says in Mishlei. Zekarim, then you plant the vineyard, you build up your business. Then you get married. Very nice. It makes a lot of sense. Now the Gemara continues a different explanation of this pasuk in Mishnah. There's a different explanation. I don't think it contradicts the first explanation, but it's talking about your learning. First, you should learn Chumash and Rashi and understand the Chumash. Then when you're done with that, then you should start learning Mishnayos or the practical halachas. Nowadays we have the Shulchan Aruch, Mishnah Berurah. And then after you're done with that, then you start learning Gemara. Only then do you learn Gemara. And there's a couple other explanations over here. Basically, it really adds on. After you learn Gemara, then you do Maisim Tovim. And only after Maisim Tovim, then you can drosh v'kabel skar, then you can give Iyun shiurim like I'm giving. So basically it tells you an order of life, what you should be doing. I don't think it's arguing. When you're engaged in the first thing in your life that's significant after you mature, to build a house, to buy a house. So then you don't have so much time in your hands. So you learn Chumash. You don't learn everything at once. You don't learn all the things at once. Then you're building up your business. You have some extra time. So you already learned Mikra, the Chumash with Rashi. Then you learn Mishnayos. You learn the practical halachas. And then when you get married, then you learn Gemara. So it's not too overwhelming. You have to learn everything at one time. You get married at 21 years old now. You had 3 years learning. It's not enough. You're learning everything together into one day, and that's why you have to be in Kol to learn so much. The Torah gives you a recipe for success in life. Don't get married so young. First, build a house. While you're building the house, learn a little bit. Learn Chumash. Then, when you're building up your business, learn the Mishnayos. And then, when you get married, maybe you have a little more time because you already have a house, you have a business, so you're financially secure. You have a place for your wife and kids. Your business is hopefully thriving. So you have more time to learn Gemara. And what's interesting also is that it notes that Gemara, you see from the Gemara here, that Gemara is not talking about Iyun, because the Gemara says at the end, after you do Maisim Tov, and then Drosh Kabal Schar, which is giving an Iyun share like I'm giving, where you're just analyzing the Torah. You first, like the Gemara says in Masechah Shabbos, that one of the, I think Rav Kahana, he says he learned all of Shas by 18 years old. What did he learn? Daf Yomi. That's what he did. And the Gemara says it makes sense. You should first learn the basic Perush in the Gemara, and then Aspera, and then afterwards, when you have sufficient knowledge of Mikra, Mishnah, and Gemara, you're familiar with a lot of Gemaras, then you can start giving Iyun shiurim. Don't start giving Iyun shiurim when you know 2 or 3 Masechtas. People do this in yeshivas. A lot of yeshivas, they'll learn 10 blot in a Masechta for an entire year, and they give Iyun shiurim, and most of these guys are 20 years old, 21 years old. They haven't learned even Shas. They don't even know 3 Masechtas. They walk out of yeshiva after 6 years, and they learn 10 blot of 3 Masechtas B'Iyun. But why are you learning B'Iyun? Drosh HaKabal Schar is the last thing. After you built a house, after you have a business thriving, after you married a woman, and after you engaged in Maisim Tovim, nice actions for your community, Then you can start giving in. Then you can start learning in. Wait to give the inshir until you're 41 years old, like I did. 40 years old. That's really what it's all about. So unfortunately, people ignore this Gemara. I don't know why people ignore this Gemara. It's a Gemara just like any other Gemara. It's like the Mishnah that says Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, and everyone thinks Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam. I should be learning the whole day. I should be learning in Kolal. No, Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam means is my interpretation. Keneged, just like Ezer Kenegdo, you should marry a woman, a wife Zacha Ezer, lo Zacha Kenegdo. If you don't marry it, your wife will oppose you. And Torah Keneged Kulam, Talmud Torah, unfortunately, the way it is, when you get obsessed with learning Torah, you learn in Kolal, the obsession with learning Torah Keneged Kulam prevents you. It opposes you from doing all the mitzvos, because you can't do mitzvos when you're all the time thinking, I gotta learn more. And you say, I have an excuse. I don't have to do mitzvahs. I don't have to do kibbut avayim. I don't have to do milas chasadim. I don't have to honor my parents. I'm learning, right? It's important. I should cut off the relationship with my parents. So I should learn. No, it doesn't say that. Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, being obsessed with learning Torah, opposes your performance of the mitzvahs, and that's really what the purpose of the Torah is. The purpose of learning the Torah is to do the mitzvahs. The end goal is the mitzvahs. The Torah is a means to an end. It's not an end to itself. It's one of the mitzvahs, but it's really a means to an end for the other 612 mitzvahs. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.